Hey guys, JT's here, certified high performance coach. I instruct and inspire people to live a more adventurous, more disciplined, and purposeful life. And today, we're going to talk about the topic of purpose. So, how do you find purpose? Maybe you're blessed. Maybe you already know what your purpose is. Maybe you've had purpose, but you're feeling a sense of unhappiness, and maybe you're doing a lot of things, but you're feeling empty. Maybe you know someone that is lost and doesn't have a sense of purpose. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to give you 4 strategies to help you realign with your purpose. So, have you ever felt like you are not living a life true to yourself? Maybe you don't know what your purpose is. Maybe you have felt a sense of purpose, but over time have lost the feeling. You're a very busy person. Maybe you're a high achieving person. You accomplish, you get up, you have very busy days. You're accomplishing a lot of things on the to-do list. You achieve a lot of goals. But yet, when you lay your head down on your pillow at night, you still feel empty. A lot of people feel this way, and I definitely have too in my life. And so, for me personally, I spent the last 23 years in the United States Army, and I've had a myriad of accomplishments. I've been to many schools. I have earned a couple degrees. I have competed in a lot of endurance events. And I initially coming in the military, I had joined to close a chapter of my early life and be a part of something greater than myself. And I really felt at a very early age that my purpose was to join the military. I wanted to be around people that inspired me and held me to a higher ambition. And I wanted to be a part of a team, something greater than myself. And I found that early on in my career. But as time had passed, I noticed some of the jobs that I was doing in the military, because you bounce from job to job as you progress, it wasn't nearly as fulfilling. And in the later part of my career, I realized that I was really nervous about getting out of the military because I had such a sense of purpose and that feeling of being part of a brotherhood, sisterhood, that fraternity type feeling. How am I going to find that in the civilian world? And can I adapt to the civilian world? A lot of nerves. And what I realized was that I started to fall out of line with what I felt my purpose was. I was achieving a lot of things. I'd completed my MBA with honors. I completed a master's degree in geological engineering. I had held, really good positions in the military. Some jobs I just really, I felt very empty in, and other jobs made me feel alive. And what I realized is that the military itself was not my ultimate purpose. I was designed to be in the military, but now I'm a transitioning veteran, and I've really had to do some soul searching on who I am as a person. And it wasn't until I drafted a purpose statement of who I am and really took a deep dive in who I am as a person and what makes me happy and developing the statement, that's what enabled me to realize that my purpose wasn't just being a soldier in the Army. It was, my purpose is to inspire and instruct people to live a more adventurous. I just lost my train of thought. I got camera shy for a second. I inspire and instruct people to live a more adventurous, more disciplined, and purposeful life. And what I realized in the jobs that I've had in the Army, the jobs where I had adventure, being on deployment, going to schools, things that you wouldn't typically do in the civilian world, I really enjoyed those things. I like to instruct and teach, so being a non-commissioned officer, teaching. I like being a recruiter because I was interacting and teaching people about the Army. I was an engineer, a basic officer leadership school instructor, teaching officers leadership. Those are the jobs I absolutely loved because I was able to inspire and instruct people. I like the discipline aspect of life. I like the discipline aspect of military life. I like doing endurance events and doing things that are very difficult. So having that sense of discipline is very important to me. And then living a purposeful life, living a life of purpose that has meaning, giving back, adding value. So those are the things that I had to come to grips with. And it wasn't until recently in doing some soul searching of who I am as a person that the reason I wasn't feeling some of the level of fulfillment in my military career because not every job that I had was in line with my purpose. And now as I transition out and I'm doing mindset coaching and I help people in the health and wellness space and running coaching, I enjoy instructing, helping people, doing adventurous things, teaching people discipline and grit, and finding their purpose. So these are the things I'm passionate about. So what is purpose? Purpose is the reason something exists in an intended aim or goal. Purpose creates meaning, offers a sense of direction, and helps guide our paths, behavior, and our goals when applied to our lives. It's important to have purpose and a purpose statement. That's what makes you get up and alive out of bed in the morning. And a purpose statement serves as a guide, and it should be a guiding principle in everything you do. A purpose statement helps you make decisions on whether or not you should invest time or pursue this obligation to achieve this goal. And if you know your purpose statement, I would love for you to comment below. If you need help with your purpose statement, reach out. I can help you with that. But I would love to know what your purpose statement is and give it some thought, because it really is an important exercise. And once you realize what your purpose statement is, it will really help you navigate life. So once again, my purpose statement: I instruct and inspire people to live a more adventurous, disciplined, and purposeful life. If you don't have a sense of purpose, how do you find it? Do you know someone that is lacking a sense of purpose? Well, when someone doesn't feel that they're living in their true self, their struggle to feel happiness, they're not in alignment with who they are. Oftentimes, many people are high-achieving people who get a lot of things done and can accomplish a lot of things, but they still feel empty inside. Sometimes people are living in their past. They've had a traumatic experience, and it's defined them, and they're stuck, unable to overcome this issue, and they probably need some therapy. And if that's you, I would encourage you to seek a therapist and unpack these things, because it's paralyzing you from moving forward. Sometimes people are living a life of reaction or obligation. They don't have control of their schedule, and they're doing things that are designed by other people. They're working a job that they're just going in for a paycheck and doing what they need to do and not living their life. They're doing 9 to 5, and they don't start their life until 5 o'clock in the day. Maybe they're in a relationship where they have an obligation for that other person for whatever reason. Maybe they have children or whatever the reason is, but they're not well connected. And when you're doing these types of things, you're not in line with your purpose. So a person that is not in line with a person is not living in congruency with who they are, and they don't have a deep level of connection and depth. Okay, so we as humans want to live a life of mastery. We want to develop skills. We want to have purpose. We want to have a sense of contribution, adding value, living with potential, and shaping the world in a positive way. We want a feeling of being fulfilled, being loved. We want a feeling of good vibrancy and good health and well-being. And we want to feel proud of ourselves, well connected to other people, and have a sense of making a difference in the world. And that's where you truly start to make a difference. And it's about service to others and contribution. So how does someone reconnect with their purpose? If you don't feel a sense of purpose, you first must realize that you're probably doing a lot of things that are keeping you busy, but they're not in line. So you need to identify what it is that you're doing, who it is that you're hanging around with, what are the things that are taking away from your ability to do things that are in line with your purpose. And the difficult thing is identifying these things and then slowly start to stop doing them, right? So once you identify what you shouldn't be doing, you need to stop doing them. So identify obligations that are taking away from your purpose. Stop living in reaction, taking control of your schedule, and do things that you want to do. When you live a life obligation reaction, you are living someone else's life, what they have designed for you, and you're reacting to their wants and their needs and their desires instead of your very own. And you must identify and reconnect with the truth of who you are as a person. And the truth is, so many people are faking it. People are on social media, and what you see is their best foot forward. You're seeing a perception of who they are. And oftentimes, people are comparing, or I say it's the comparison trap, but they're comparing themselves. I like to say contrast. It's a negative. Contrasting themselves to someone else's best foot forward. So they're looking at their own reality and comparing themselves negatively by someone else's best foot forward. And unless you know that person closely, you need to be very careful about doing that, because what you're seeing is them faking their life. And that's not a good thing to do, because then you start to downplay your own achievements, and you get stuck and mired, and you get paralyzed, not want to do anything. you start to think, oh, I suck as a person. I don't have what they have. I don't have the means. I don't have the intelligence. I don't have the, the physical fitness that they have. And it's a negative place to be. So just don't do that, okay? Some people feel guilty when their work feels like play and tasks that should be work feel easy. This is a good thing. This is called flow and productivity. So when you're in good flow, you probably have talents and abilities that feel easy, and that's a good state of being. So if you're one of those people that feel guilty about the work and it seems easy, that's a good place to be. You'll not be in alignment until you know the truth of who you are. So some questions for you. What do you want in this stage of life? Because as we have different stages of life, your your desires change. What are you really interested in? What are you excited about? What are you passionate about? What makes you jump up out of bed and just inspires you to go? What would you do if you couldn't make money? It was just something that you were extremely passionate about. Mark Manson, in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Enough, he says, what are the things that make you not want to skip meals, but make you forget about meals and forget about pooping, right? Those are the things that you're excited about. What are some of the things that you did as a child that just made you just super happy and you were super excited? Two things that I did was I loved riding a bike. I lived in Clarksville, Missouri. I delivered newspapers basically 6 days a week. It was a 90-minute bike ride. I did that every day. And I would oftentimes on a Saturday, I'd go do my paper out in the morning, and then I'd get back, hop on my bike, go home, get some breakfast, hop back on the bike, and I'd ride my bike all day until the lights went out later in the night. You can't do that now, right? There's so many, your kids are going to get kidnapped, right? Society has completely changed. But back in the day, I would ride my bike all day, lights came on, I'd go home. But I still like to ride my bike. I took about, when I joined the Army, I probably took a couple years off from riding my bike, and then I went out to Colorado, and I got a mountain bike, and I've been riding my bike ever since. It still brings me joy. That got upgraded to riding motorcycles, and I just love being on two wheels. One of my favorite activities that I love doing is camping. I remember camping with my grandparents, and that nostalgic feeling of being out in wilderness and being connected with nature just brings me a lot of happiness. What I've realized is that I'm not camping enough. I need to do that, and those things bring me joy. So what are the things that you used to do as a child that make you happy or that made you happy? Start doing those things again. And if you have kids, do those things with your kids because they're going to remember those things. So here are 4 strategies to help you find or realign with your purpose. So realign with the core truth of who you are. You must realign with the core truth of who you are as a person. If you're faking it, you need to stop faking it and do the things that you're passionate about. Be around people that clap when you win, who make you feel alive, and don't do things out of obligation. Exercise the word no more. If it's not congruent with your purpose statement, it doesn't bring you joy, then it's an obligation. Some obligations are okay, but when your life becomes very reactionary and you're doing everything out of obligation, then you're not living a life with your purpose. You're not going to stumble into your purpose. You're not going to walk out into the street in an 18-wheeler with the word purpose on the side of it. It's not going to run over you and you're magically going to find it. You have to continue to find things and dabble with things that inspire you and motivate you. And for me, some people find it relatively quickly. Me, it took me a very long time. I've noticed that I do some things that are in line with my purpose, but it wasn't until later in life that I truly realized who I am. So just know that seeking a goal or doing a specific achievement itself is not going to give you a sense of purpose. Pursuing a degree may be in line with your purpose, but I think I achieved that my geological engineering degree. I was very proud of that, but what I realized was that's not the type of work that I want to do. That's not in line with my purpose statement. That was a mountain that I climbed. Hindsight being 2020, I didn't necessarily need to do that. Waste of time and ultimately a waste of resources because I have to pay that. Now, did I learn some things? Yes, but was it worth the time and money? Looking back, hindsight being 2020, would I do that again? Probably not. So that's why having a purpose statement is incredibly important. So having a title, achieving an objective or a goal, having a big house, having a nice car, these things are important and they're milestones and they're more like objectives, but they're not going to bring you to your purpose. So these are byproducts of living in your purpose and things that kind of make you happy, but they're not things that are going to make you in line with your purpose. Okay? So alignment is being in tune with the truth of who you are, not doing busy work, but doing the work that matters, doing the things that you're designed to do. Secondly, fulfill aspirations. There are 3 human aspirations: being, relating, and creating. The being aspiration is we all want to be, as humans, vibrant. We want to be healthy. We want to have a level of energy. We want to be a person of character and values, a person that we're proud of. Do you have the energy levels to be vibrant, healthy, and are you living with character and value? And are you proud of yourself? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. A lot of people who aren't in great health, they'll work their 9 to 5, and then they get home and they're tired. And they're working a 9 to 5 that's not fulfilling them, and it's wearing them out, and they get home at night and they're with their family and they're too tired to do anything. And they just sit on the couch and they watch TV or they plug in electronics. So this is very important. You should be finding work that you're doing. You should be exercising and taking care of your nutrition and your well-being. So even if you have to work a paycheck and you're working your way out of that, at least you can start living your life in the evening with a level of energy and doing some things that are aligned with your purpose. So be cognizant of that. Okay. The relating aspiration, your connection to other people. This is connection and community. We need, as humans, to be around a community of people. Be around people who clap when you win, that are going to support you, that make you feel cared for. So are you connecting with other people in a meaningful way? We as humans also have a creation aspirations. We need to be able to create. We have a drive for contribution, adding value, creating things, whether it be art or music or building with our hands, construction, maybe creating a mission or a movement or writing a blog or writing a book, but adding value in some way. We need to have that sense of creation. So fulfill the aspirations of your being, relating, and your creation. Okay. The third strategy is to adopt the role model mindset. When you're a role model, you're activating your potential. And when you're living in your potential, you're raising you're living to the highest level of your values because other people are watching, and you're showing up, and when you're activating your potential, and you feel a sense of purpose because as a role model, people are looking up to you, people that are close to you, and it's going to force you to show up better. The distance between your potential and where you're at, the greater the distance, the more misery you're going to have between the two. Okay, so be very cognizant of that. Your daily habits that you execute each day must activate your daily potential. And if you can't just activate your potential or put that on the wall as a New Year's resolution, okay? You need to be doing this on a regular basis. And so often people will have this desire. They want to activate their potential or do this thing on New Year's. And, by the end of the month, they fall apart and then they go back to their old ways, okay? So when you desire to be a role model for other people, it holds you to a higher standard. And when you serve and share your authentic self, you motivate and inspire other people's, you add value and you serve a purpose, okay, to other people. The fourth strategy is to create meaningful moments in your life. Oftentimes people will kind of run through the day. They're knocking off checklists. They're getting up in the morning. They're getting the kids off to school. They're giving them a quick hug, get them on the bus. They're rushing to work. They work their 9 to 5. They come home. They hug and kiss the kids. They're running around taking kids to different activities. They're mowing the yard. All these obligations. Check. Y'all, the to-do list. You're checking all these things off, and they're not feeling the day. They're busy. They lay their head down on the pillow, and at the end of the day, they are just absolutely wiped out, and they don't have any level of fulfillment. And what they forgot to do is they forgot to feel the day. Feeling the day is basically in those moments that are important, like when you're running out the door in the morning, give your kids a hug, like give them a hug. Tell them that you're proud of them. Give them something to look forward to. Like, hey, I can't wait to see you at the end of the day. So, after soccer practice tonight, we're going to get some ice cream. When you're with your significant other and you come home at the end of the day, really embrace that person. Give them a kiss and mean it. Really lean into that and just slow down time in those moments that really matter and really feel those moments. And those are moments that are going to make you feel alive. They're going to make you feel connected, that sense of relating, and it's going to just make you feel happy, right? So just to recap the 4 strategies: realign to the core of who you are, quit faking it, don't live a life of obligation, don't live a life of reaction, figure out who you are, what are the things that are taking you away from your fulfillment and your purpose, and stop doing those things. Connect with others in a meaningful way, create things that you're proud of, adopt a role model mindset, live up to your potential, make purpose by creating meaningful moments with other people. So here's your homework. If you don't have it, I'd love to know what your purpose statement is. Post it below. If you don't have a purpose statement, or if you're struggling with purpose, reach out to me. We can do a strategy session, and I can help you find your purpose, and get you realigned with who you are as a person. That's what I do as a mindset coach. So I hope this serves you well. It's incredibly important to have purpose in life. That's how you live a fulfilling life, add value, contribution, connect with others, and ultimately find joy and contentment. So I hope this serves you well. In the meantime, keep doing hard things. And like I said, if you need help, feel free to reach out, and we'll talk soon.